Hello, everyone. Welcome to Your Next Normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. What a marathon I've been on the past 5 years. It is not a bad thing, and it's not a good thing. It's just life unfolding, and it just continues to unfold. But I hope you're doing fine. You might not know this, and if you've been watching and paying attention to some of the conversations, the last 4 or 5 years have been quite intense in terms of situations and circumstances emerging in a way that I wouldn't have planned it that way, but it did anyway. And we showed up, and I showed up. But I've also shared about the importance of, taking care of yourself. And sometimes you really need to pause and have a time internally for your spiritual well-being. But the drama of life keeps pushing you out of yourself, keeps saying, no, do this, you've got to go here, go there. I think we had Sister Asha, Didi Asha from New Delhi, India. And many of you don't know, but on that day, I did not sleep a wink. And I was remembering how I pushed myself that morning to be live with you for 1 hour with Didi Asha. Remember that show, What Does It Mean to Be a Brahma Kumari? You have no idea. I might have gotten about an hour and a half max, or 2 max, of sleep. And then we had events and things and going and travels. And I remember just saying to myself the next day, you've got to take it easy. It's love for the self. God is using you, no doubt. And when I say that God is using me, I don't really believe it's Jenna doing it. The ego of Jenna. And even though there is a percentage of ego still there is a huge percentage of Baba's love and Baba's light that is moving me. And I've had days where I just stop. You collapse. You can't even speak. There was a joke in the Brahma Kumaris in the advanced class of the Murli. Baba used to say, you should speak until your throat chokes. I go, oh, now I know what Baba meant. That it becomes so much. But many years ago, he used to tell us, you are going to reach a particular state in this age where you will not be able to get sleep, but you will only do service. Only service. And we are in that mode now. No matter what we do, we're going to be called to give and to serve. And today's conversation is about love. Because without love, you can't do it. If there's attachment, you will count how much service you do. If there's attachment, you will question why. If there's attachment, you might say no a lot more than you will say, Hanji, yes. But when there is love, love says yes all the time. When there's attachment, it will always find a reason, a no, why you cannot, why you will not now, not until this happens or that happens. I've seen it for myself. So today's conversation is about love. The prophets throughout time, they descended from God's womb, the soul world. And they never taught us to be judgmental or to hate each other. I have no idea how those scriptures became so humanly indoctrinated with emotions of a human being. Like, the prophets were so loving. How did we change a loving example and put it in our own example where it became limited? And it moved us away from the love that God is teaching. When God sent down Abraham, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, Guru Nanak, everyone. He didn't send them, now kid, go down there and raise hell. Everyone taught us about love. And I think many times we confuse love with lust. And lust is not love. It's a completely different category of love. Love is not attachment. It's a completely different category than love. But if you look at your relationships, and if you look at the way that you respond to situations and circumstances, would you say that your love has become mixed? I give love here, but there's an element of an attachment there too. Oh, I see this person. I want their bodies, but you also love them too. Where do you spend most of your thought energy? Where do you spend most of your intentional energy? Lust, attachment, or love? Do your own math. This shows about our own healing and our own ability to heal ourselves and transform ourselves so that we become instruments for a better world. This is what the next normal is about. So when you look at your thoughts and you look at the feelings that come from those thoughts, are your thoughts more rooted in attachment or lust or of love? Let me give you a little example. When I had to take care of Sister Geeta with her dementia, it was very interesting. I would hear things about, Jen, you know, you're too busy and you know who you are as a public figure. You can't be changing your mom's diaper and cleaning her up and these things. And then I would hear other comments from other people, no one connected to my organization, but people that would be, oh, but you know, at the center, you've got so much going on, and she's doing this, she's doing that. I said, yeah. But I remembered when I asked God, what does love want me to do here? And instantly, love said, take care of her. And I can't tell you how liberating that was for me. Because my attachment, that also has a relationship with the ego, created many different reasons why it's beneficial for her to go to an assisted living. There are nurses, doctors, people who will take better care of her than you could. Where lust would come in and it's like, I've got much better things to do than this. No. When I asked love, what do you want me to do? Love said, take care of her. I chose love. And I can't begin to tell you how much it taught me. We would go to India once or twice a year to Mount Abu at the headquarters. And the question is, do we leave her here? Do we get a nurse? And we had that ability. But I would go to her, and I don't know if Santosh could put her picture on the screen, on the picture. But I would go to her and I would say, you know, I'm going to Madhuban, I'm going to India. Do you want to stay? You want to come? Now she's full on with her dementia. I mean, if you left her alone, she would either walk to the next door neighbor, get lost in the backyard, drink candle wax, eat the flowers. I'm just giving you an idea of the level of her dementia. And she would look at me and say, Madhavan. I says, you sure? Madhavan. Okay. I'd have to get a nurse, make sure I have a special room, all the things I had to do, which needs love if it's going to sustain me. But if I did it with attachment or ego or lust, I can't tell you how exhausting it would have been for me. There was one flight that we took to Madhavan, to India. Sister Geeta had not a very strong tummy. I had to change her 3 times because of her loose tummy in that plane. I did it with so much love. What does love want you to do for you? Brings me to my point. If a person can do that for another person, what can you not do for yourself? What does love want you to do for you now? In the way you take care of your diet, in the way you're taking care of your body and your mind and your spirituality, your home, your family, and your friends and your colleagues at work and your country. What does love want you to do? And on many occasions, I'll ask myself this question throughout the day, and it always brings me back to, remember Baba Jan. Find your core. Send your good wishes. Send your good wishes to yourself. You're doing okay. You're a good person. You're a good human being. Send your vibrations to others. May you get your purest desires fulfilled. I wish you well. Love will make you use your thought time this way, if even physically you're not even capable. Love brings people together. It doesn't divide or separate. Love is inclusive. My newest addition to my biography is Sister Jenna is an inclusionist. She brings people together, and I so do. I'm not interested on your status, how much money you have, the color of your skin, if it's dark or light, if your eyes are slant or oval, if your hair is long or short. I don't care about your gender. I'm not here for that. So the whole thing here is about love. And an inclusionist is driven by the core value of love. And when you practice this for your own life, I'll tell you this for myself, how I feel as a person. Free. When I'm kind and respectful and thoughtful to the feelings of other people, I'm liberated, and that's what love does. It liberates people. It doesn't trap them. It doesn't make their minds small. It's not negative. It's not nasty. Love heals. Love gives respected space when it's needed. Love understands the heart of others. So let's say you're in the workplace and you're in a meeting, and then all of a sudden a colleague at work gets at you or yells at you in the meeting or doesn't accept your idea. And the first thing you feel is either a thought about the colleague, but then your chest collapses, or it gets upset. At that moment you ask, what does love want me to do here? And majority of the time in conflicting situations, it says give respected space. Just give them respected space. When you're exhausted and when you can't get out of that bed, that's a sign you're giving way too much of yourself in a way that it's not self-sustaining. That's not love. When you wake up in the morning and you're inspired and you have energy, that's love. But when you can't do it, that isn't self-love, my brothers and sisters. And at that moment you ask yourself, what does love want here? It says rest. Love will always take care of you. It will never hurt you. There's no such thing as a broken heart. Love doesn't break. Attachment breaks. But love doesn't break. Love is so powerful, it will heal your attachments. But attachment cannot break your love. It's two different departments. So as you're moving along today, just keep checking in with yourself every hour in the hour. What does love want of me right now? And just the first answer will be the right one. And you can't choose that answer. What does love want of me right now in the next normal? Go into silence with you. Offer a moment of meditation and reflection. Just to be still. Just to be still. Internally, the intention is, I'm God's child. I've got to care for myself and the people around me. Love cares about people. Love bridges divides, separation. Love is kind. Love sustains. Now imagine yourself being this being. Because the truth is, at a soul level, so many souls have loved you throughout time. And you have loved so many souls throughout time. And now, God's love is upon you. And that's huge. So let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Breathe in again and exhale. So good now. Just visualize yourself in this state as a person. You've been loved by so many souls throughout your soul's journey. And you have loved so many souls throughout your soul's journey. And that love is in you. And now, God's love is now available for you. And you can use that love as much as you want. Wherever you go, whoever you talk to, remember Baba's love and then speak. And you'll see magic. This is how you protect yourselves from taking in the sorrows of the world. And of course, you become protected from giving sorrow to others. Let's take a look at awakened intelligence, if I've done myself due diligence and if I've made God proud. Well, love invites us to act with kindness, understanding, and compassion. It calls for us to listen deeply, to be present, and to nurture connections with others, not break them up. Love encourages us to forgive, to be patient, and to accept others as they are. It seeks to bring harmony, foster trust, and create spaces where we can grow together. Ultimately, love asks us to give without expecting anything in return, to act selflessly, and to uplift those that are around us. So, America, are we a loving nation? India, are you a loving nation? Russia, are you a loving nation? Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, Africa, Central South America, Canada. Don't be upset if I don't mention your region. The Caribbean islands, Australia. Are you a loving nation? Because if you're not, you will destroy your country, just like history has revealed to us. What brings a country down is a lack of love of its citizens for each other. We are all different, but now everyone in every country must ask themselves as citizens of their land, what does love want us to do? And you will heal your country, and you will understand, be patient. Sometimes we have to give others chances. Let's look at what our Sister Gita effect is going to say to us today.
Possess self-respect, not ego. So if I keep awareness, what should be the effect? To let go of your ego and possess self-respect. Remember what I told you, she whispered, about when the soul was full. It could sustain the self, it wasn't pushed or pulled. But then it lost energy and became so very weak. Then the ego came into you and said, you must seek. It whispered in your ear that your happiness is outside. You believe this falsehood, not knowing that it lied. I had heard about the ego when I studied back in school, but I couldn't remember much and felt a bit of a fool. I told the angel this and then asked what the ego was. I also wanted to know what exactly the ego does. The ego occupies the head and keeps your thoughts reeling. The soul's the heart and keeps it from feeling. It is so very possessive. It always thinks I or mine. You can tell when it's active. There are so many signs. The moment you feel insulted, know the ego is to blame. It causes you to react and engage in hurtful games. The angel went on and on describing how the ego manifests. It was such a long list, I began to feel so depressed. So how can I be positive knowing the ego is within me? It seems I have no chance. There's too much ego in me. Before you lived in darkness, not knowing there was light, you thought negativity was normal and didn't put up a fight. But the ego isn't you. It isn't who you are. You're the embodiment of goodness, the light of a star. So now the ego must go. Divorce the ego. It cannot stay within you. But how can I dispose of it? What must I do? You must starve it of nourishment. You cannot let it feed. You must do what it can't bear and not give it what it needs. Since the ego loves resistance, you must be quick to accept. This doesn't mean agreeing, it just means you don't reject. You must accept situations and people as they are. If you can do this, I promise you, you'll go very far. The ego will always recall everything that has passed. It keeps you from the present. This is the favorite task. It reminds you of the bad someone else has done to prop yourself up and make you think you've won. So let go the past. Bring your thoughts to the present. Don't think about others. This makes the heart feel pleasant. So have a day full of self-respect.
I carry the love of Sister Gita in my heart. Today's Avyak signal, the stage of being ignorant of the knowledge of desires, means the completely powerful seed soul stage. When you become a master seed, spiritually linked to the soul, you're able to make the leaves attain something even far from you. Your vibration can impact others. In order to give the leaves, so to speak, who are those who are searching and they have become dry and wilted inside, the donation of powers to enable them to attain all attainments through your seed stage, your deep spiritual truth. You need to have the stage, the awareness that you're ignorant of all desires, that you don't need something outside of you to determine your value or your worth. So powerful. So good day to everyone. I hope you enjoyed the session today. Please let me know what it was like for you. Thank you all so much. And keep remembering you matter, and so does everyone else too. Sometimes people are not always their best. Sometimes they're not always kind or loving. But that's when you can practice and observe if you really do have love in you. So remember, in order to break your attachments, practice loving everybody the same. See how it comes out. Thanks for joining us. Have a lovely day today. See you again soon. Om Shanti.